All right, everybody, welcome to the Independent Mouth. I am your host, Anthony, and today we have got just a crazy show. Just to let you know, let's get in here and take a look at the blanket real quick. We got Blinky Minky Blankets, one of the sponsors for the show. If you folks go there, just want to let you know, go use your discount, The Mouth. Once again, The Mouth is the discount code that you will get for going to www.blinkyminkyblankets.com. Once again, that is blinkyminkyblankets.com. Check it out. No, it is not a robe. It is a lovely, lovely, comfy blanket. This was one that we got for one of our kids. I have 4 blankets here. I have this one. I have another one that's in my daughter's room. And we have 2 other blankets as well. Okay. So this is just one of them. I took the little animal prints. Who doesn't love puppies? Right. And look, it kind of feels like a robe, right? You wouldn't know. You just wouldn't know. You just wouldn't know what's going on. But look at it. It's a beautiful little robe. I just want to, right. So I got clothes on underneath. Whoop. I know some of you are upset about that, but yeah, I got little nipples. All right. So here's the deal. We have got a ridiculous, it's just a simple show, right? Hope everybody had an absolutely amazing holiday. Merry Christmas. We got a new year coming up, so happy new year. I'm going to give a little bit of a review for 2021. A couple things I want to talk about. Not going to be a huge long show. News is kind of stalled out. We're going to touch on a couple of hot topics that we do have. We're going to get into it, and we'll pack up for next week to have another really big show. We're not going to have a show on Saturday. Only reason is we want to start off I'll set out an interview that'll be placed in for Saturday, but we are absolutely going to be back on track starting next week. A ton of news is going to be coming out. We're hitting the beginning of the year. We all know how all this stuff happens. Okay. The only reason why I say for Saturday, there will be a lot of people. There is enough content on this radio show and on this podcast for people to filter through and listen to, that keeps you absolutely up to date. Now, I wrote a very short monologue, which I don't normally do, but that is going to be incorporated into the show. A little bit more of me actually writing a monologue. And so I just felt that would be a nice touch, right? A little bit of promotion stuff that we'll put in there. But I also think it'll be a nice little touch that you guys get a little bit more personality. Now, major announcement, Amazon has actually sent me a promotion kit for the Independent Mouth. You can listen to the show on Alexa. You can listen to the show on Amazon Podcasts, Google Podcasts. You can listen across all those. Obviously, we still have Podbean, and we do have the independententertainmentnetwork.com. Once again, I know everybody was very accustomed to going to the independentmouth.com, but just to let you know that it is changed and will be changing. We're going to be updating everything. This has been a huge rollout, and honestly, it's been done by myself and 1 or 2 other people. Not a lot of hands on it, tons of work. It's why it's rolling out slowly. But like I said to so many people, I would rather roll this out slowly than have to go back and redo this a million times. Not going to do that. We're going to roll it out right. We're going to put out the best product that we possibly can. We have 8 podcasts joining in. We're getting sponsors like crazy. The one that I'm putting on full blast, once again, Blinky Minky Blankets. Dude, it is so soft. It's unreal. Here's the deal. You're looking at this and you say this looks good. This is one of the first blankets ever made. One of the first batch. So you think this looks good? Go to www.blinkyminkyblankets.com and go check out the amazing custom work that is there. There is a discount in the code, The Mouth. Use The Mouth, TheMouth. Use that. Go get your discount. Enjoy the blankets. They're absolutely amazing. Now on to the monologue. As I take a sip of my coffee, as you see the mug, Pops, we love you. We miss you. Nobody better in the world, man. I miss you, Dad. New year coming up. Thank you for kicking me in the ass and wanting me to start this podcast because it's growing. It's doing wonderful. And it was all because of this man kicking me in the ass. And also, too, with the amounts of help that we've had from Katie, Kelly, Debbie. Thank you so much. We love you. All the amounts that you ladies and everybody associated with the ladies of the mouth. Okay. That's what we call them. The ladies of the mouth. They have spread this podcast into restaurants, into clubs, into bakeries, into businesses. They've taken it. They've gone to governors. They've gone to mayors. They've blasted it in front of them. Huge shout out to the AEW. And there are some major, major stars there that are fans of the Independent Mouth. We love you. Thank you so much for all that as well. Tony Khan, thank you for all your love and support as well. Chris Jericho, you as well. Kenny Omega, love you too, buddy. And just, man, Darby, Allen, you name it, we've got them. AEW, love the stars, love the people. Can't thank you enough. Damian Priest, love you, buddy. I'm with you 100%. Love the character change. Love what you've done. You're an inspiration to all wrestlers out there as well. Thank you so much, buddy, for all the love and kind words that you've passed along my way as well. So I'm giving it right back to you. Okay, let's get into the monologue here. Let's get crazy. So we have a new year upon us. A new you is possible, and it will be accepted. But in a new world where people no longer use common sense, there needs to be those who dig deep and revolve their thinking around common sense. It's not uncommon for politicians to lie, cheat, steal, and to get their way into office. But let's face it, once you're in, the struggle is over. Of course, not every person is evil, baby eating, or has a communist agenda, but most of them make deals to win their seat. And it's evident who does. Inaction is the most effective cleanser for those who do not truly deserve to be there. This show has always brought you the good and the bad. We've always used discernment when reposting news. We haven't had to go back and correct the record. Yet, the mainstream refuses to correct the record, and some accept it. Time after time, pontificators spew lies and scripted plans in hopes of raising metrics and views. The fall from grace has been nothing short than a boulder falling from a cliff. Ta-da! Small monologue. That's all I wanted to do for the monologue. Didn't want to go crazy because I wanted to go into a few things that we can talk about and actually go over and express. I hope you enjoyed the monologue. Thank you so much for sticking around. Those were ideas from fans. So putting the monologue in. Thank you. Okay. Let's handle a little bit of world news real quick, because we've been on fire the last couple of days, and I think a ton of people. Okay, the chairman of the left wing party, Die Linke, Dietmar Bartsch, calls for an end to the panic mode regarding COVID in Germany. Demands investment in the healthcare systems instead of compulsory vaccination. There have been tons. Look, not against people who are against vaccines. We understand there are anti-vaxxers out there. I firmly believe that most people's objections are not to the extreme of people saying that no one should ever get a vaccine of any kind. I'm not on board with that. If you are, that's fine. It's your body, it's your prerogative, it's your family, it's your choice. That's how a democracy works. Vaccines work when they're tested in groups, extensive testing, not just jamming it. Like, here's the reason why. Why do you need 17 shots? I don't need 17 shots for polio. Every 10 years or so for tuberculosis, I need an updated shot, right? So just like, I want to counter the arguments from both sides and just go directly down the middle, which the Independent Mouth has always done. So with that being said, you're seeing tons and tons and tons and tons of walks, marches, people kicking back. They're understanding that being forced to do things and now your livelihood is directly tied to it is a very unsettling fact and aspect for a lot of people. Truth be told, you can lose your job by not being vaccinated. You don't even have to spread it. You could go 4 years without spreading it, but you still lost your job and you never actually technically spread it to anybody. That's a problem. UK PM Boris Johnson will not announce any more COVID restrictions. Why? Ask yourself why. Because the people continue to stand up, right? As soon as we start seeing some of these world leaders saying some of these things, CDC and the WHO, they start to reduce things. We're going to get into that. But then we go to Germany. German parliament, the Bundestag, to start discussing the compulsory vaccination of the general population in the first week of session in the new year. Nuremberg trials. Germany has always been, sorry, a disgrace and a stain for what happened, not the German people, just the history. Same as the US, same as many others that did some disgusting things along the way, but we have to learn from them. What bothers me is the lack of knowledge in history that younger people have and the common sense ties that come from it that should allow people to make the best educated decisions, but obviously it's not. It's being manipulated through the media. I'm not against media. I'm just against liars. I'm against false prophets. I'm against people who hold a normal human being up as being a god. It doesn't work. I don't care what your God is. I'm a Catholic. I believe in God. I believe in Jesus. I believe in the Bible. Do I have to prove that to you? Do I have to explain that to you? No, I don't. I don't care if you believe in a goddamn broomstick. It doesn't matter. Okay? It's about being respectful. You could believe in Buddha. You can believe in the Greek gods. You could believe in the Roman gods. You could believe in Zeus. Don't care. You could just believe strictly in Mother Nature. Wonderful. More power to you. Keep it moving. Attraction rather than promotion. Same thing with AA. Same thing with NA. Same thing with Overeaters Anonymous. Everybody is hyperbolic. And what social media has taught people to do is say things without the conflict resolution that needs to follow, because you can simply cancel somebody. And that has seeped out its way into our culture. That's the problem. It's not Joe up the road specifically. It's not, hey, I kind of believe this a little bit differently. It's, you've never actually had to defend it to people who weren't fanboys. Let's face it, most people are trying to write their own narrative and they're terrible authors. It's as simple as that. We'll get into it more. Check this out. Chinese app TikTok signed a partnership with Stonewall, the controversial lesbian, gay, bisexual, and transgender rights charity, to promote trans and traditional transitioning material. Yeah, no, it's not going to fly. You'll see the polls come out. I'm not going to tell you what to think. All I'm going to tell you is over 80% of people don't believe in that, don't want to see it, and don't care. If you haven't realized this entire time, whether it's from vaccines, whether it's from child trafficking, whether it is the wall, whether it is gay, lesbian, trans rights, whatever it is, if you haven't noticed, it's always the smallest group that's screaming the loudest. You know what the media does? They create a vertical slice. You know what a vertical slice is? It's a very small portion of a big project. It's in the gaming industry. You create a vertical slice to show people this very, very small slice of pie, right? That's why I call it vertical slice, a little small slice of the entire pie. And what happens? You show the best parts. Always. It's exactly what the media has been doing around this. Now, I have gay cousins. I have gay family. It does not bother me in the slightest. I love them. Your choice is your choice. Okay? I'm not going to get into, oh, this person is born that way. I don't give a damn. That's the problem. People care too much to control what other people do instead of just living their life and voting how you should be voting. Okay? And if you're going to understand, you will understand the more and more that people let go of trying to control everything everybody else is doing. Watch the magic happen. So much will open up. Opportunities, abilities, friendships, partnerships. Do you think the majority of people actually care that somebody's gay? No, they don't. They're accepted. Here's the truth, guys. Okay? Even with gay family, everybody else. If you know that I'm not, don't try and make me. It's a great philosophy. It's worked a long time. Got a lot of gay friends. Got gay family. Never ostracized them. Never said one thing to make them feel not welcomed in my world or mine in theirs. A new year, a new time. In the last week, a little bit over a week now, 3 stars very young died. Croatian Marin Kasic, 23 years old. Algerian Solfiane Lakar, 30 years old. And Omani Maklid Rakati, 29 years old. Different people who got jabs, different facets of the world. What I heard somebody in social media say, you know, it's not true. You can get it twice. I don't believe it is. I don't believe it is. I believe that the tests are faulty and they're prone to showing, because now we're understanding that the positive test will actually can show up to 12 weeks. And when it's in your body, the tests alone themselves will still show that it's there because of the spike protein. Now, Anthony, what gives you the indication that it can't be contracted twice? I just believe you had the regular flu. That's it. We've gone over this in Lifetime Immunity. It's one of the shows previously. You can go back and listen to it. Here's the real truth of it all. None of the information they're giving you is correct. When you hear Joe Biden say, this is a state level, it's not a federal government thing. He's thrown in the towel. He's lied to you again. Again. It's not the first time, not the second time, not the third time. They've lied to you over and over and over. It will be written him as the worst president in United States history. He is despicable, disgusting, and an embarrassment to the office. And so is Camel Toe. China has reportedly blocked access to Steam Global, the communist regime's biggest blow yet to the gaming industry. Steam is huge. Blocking games over there the same way that they do with a ton of different platforms. Huge markets. Nigeria destroys 1 million donated AstraZeneca vaccines due to short shelf life. So obviously it's not good. Kind of crazy. I mean, these are just little pieces, little nuggets. All right. And NASA enlists 24 theologians to assess how the world would react to discovery of extraterrestrial life. Guys, how many times do they plant the seeds on different things that you have no idea about? How many times do they plant the seeds and all you're doing is kind of sitting there and you're like, wait a second. Right? Like, we know that there's life in different places. Once again, people live in a fantasy world. They think it should be one way and maybe not the other. I'm just going to stand up and say is, who cares? If they're there, they're there. Let's figure out a way. Let's figure out what to do. Maybe they're not there. We need more transparency. And if you haven't seen it yet, with everything that's gone on, from the vaccines to learning about JFK, for God's sakes, okay? the government hides stuff until it's so far out of your memory to bring it back in again, they can craft the narrative. The public's not falling for that anymore. And here's a perfect example of that. 5 men accused of plotting to kidnap Michigan Governor Gretchen Whitmer want charges dismissed because the FBI, once again, want charges dismissed because the FBI invented the conspiracy and informants funded and agitated the movement. I mean, the government initiated the case despite the fact that it knew there was no plan to kidnap Governor Gretchen Whitmer, the defense lawyer wrote in his 20-page motion. Okay. Facebook openly admitted in court the fact checkers were strictly opinions. In court. Now you have the this is as clear as day. And the media is still not clearing it up. It's in court documents. Yeah. Hold on, even better. Twitter unlawfully blocked the New York Post article that incriminated Joe Biden's son and Biden himself. A higher regional court in Germany ruled retroactively. The courts in Germany remember what took place years ago. The courts. The government is still trying to do what it does. So what's the point, Anthony? The point's very simple. People get into positions, and it doesn't necessarily mean they're the best. People get into positions most of the time by building relationships. Experience plays a role, but you'll notice it more and more where it's been more of who you know than what you know. And now that philosophy for years and years and years of this happening shows that people didn't actually build a solid foundation in that education or how they even conduct their business. Therefore, you're finding people who are morally corrupt, empty, shallow, and non-engaging. Media can only engage for you so much, and it's not working anymore. Everything is exposed. Everything now is out in the open, and people are making the educated decisions to not follow. It's as simple as that. And you will see that more and more in 2022. So, with the last podcast of 2021, we now have 2022 coming up. Like I said, next week, we will have a great show. Next week, it will be jam-packed again as usual, but just for yourselves. Understand and know there are tons of work that is going into the Independent Entertainment Network. We hope you folks enjoy it as much as we enjoy putting it out there for you. And we'll supply all that information as we go. But once again, before we leave for the new year, just for a couple days, go get yourself an amazing and comfortable and wonderful blanket from Blinky Minky Blankets. Once again, that is Blinky Minky Blankets. Do yourselves a favor. Go there. Go to the website, www.blinkyminkyblankets.com. Use the code The Mouth. Get your discount and enjoy your blankets today. Folks, thank you so much for everything that has taken place on this show for 2021. I love you, and I can't thank you enough for all the love and support. Please do us a favor, like and support the show. Donate if you can. Subscribe, absolutely subscribe, and come to the show. It is going to get crazy. I love you, folks, and I'll see you guys next week. Once again, thank you for all your love and support. I'm your host, Anthony, and you've been listening to The Independent Mouth. Happy holidays, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. We'll see everybody on Wednesday next week. Thank you so much for all the time. Love you. See you soon.